From the Raw Boxing TV studios, your host, Ranger. Information may cause headaches to hates or bias casual fan. The host that gives you facts with very little feelings. From the city of the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, the man who floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee, Louisville, Kentucky. It's showtime.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the ones that are here watching with me right now. It's been a very interesting day for boxing. Need I say more when it comes to this press conference? I got to tell you guys, it don't get no better than this, and here's why. Because this is a fight that has caused a lot of drama throughout the entire for the last year and a half, put it that way. And so I was anticipating, I have been expecting these two fighters to come face to face one another. Now today I couldn't do a live reaction because of the simple fact that I was still at work, but I still watched it while at work. And I got to tell you, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it was everything I had expected, but it was close to everything I had expected, with the exception of one thing. And we'll go into all of that in a minute. A lot of things has been, a lot of things have been changing. Remind you as you come in, man, to just hit the thumbs up. Activate the notification bell after you subscribe if you haven't, while you at it as well. If you can exit the chat, hit the share button, copy the link and drop it in your social media platform, whether it's Facebook or Twitter. You never know who might be interested in this kind of content. We're gonna get into this, and I'm not coming with a sweet tongue. So get ready, cheerleaders. Get ready, groupies, because I got to speak clearly. I got to speak clearly. I will hold nothing back, but I will do it respectfully. Unless one of y'all gets a little disrespectful in the chat. Then I'm like Bruce Lee says, I'm like water. You put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or we can crash. I'm water, my friend. You keep it respectful, I keep it respectful. Facts. Let me say a quick shout out to the people on the chat. A-Rod Boxing, what's up, brother? Thank you for being here. Everybody check him out. Tyco TV, que hola said it. What's up, brother? Anthony Breland. If you are the Anthony Breland, I think you are. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Shouts out to your father. Shouts out to your father. A-Rod says, Wilder with them headphones just showed Fury can get. We'll get into that. We'll get into that. Deontay definitely ducked those questions. Though he was going to come with, hey, man. Hey, Breland. Hey, I might drop the link, Breland, later on. If it is you, Brilliant Jr., come on in, because that'd be kind of interesting. Okay, cool. It is you then. Welcome, brother. Welcome. Just gonna chop it up a little more while allowing people to come in. Everybody hit the thumbs up as you come in so YouTube can start sending notifications out. A lot of bad news in boxing today. I was really anticipating the Teofimo match. My prayers go with him. He's been, after a PCR test, he was diagnosed positive with COVID. I think the fight got postponed back to August the 19th. And so with that being said, we just hope that he gets better. Or hopefully he's just one of those persons that doesn't even get the symptoms. He just has the virus. So that way he doesn't have to go through no lung damage, because in boxing you need your lungs, right? You need optimal health when you're an athlete. And just our prayers and our thoughts go out to the champ, the takeover. Hopefully that we'll get him on August the 19th at 100%, because I know the fight between him and Kambosos is going to be a very, very good fight, and he's going to open the doors for other good fights. So we'll see. Yeah, drop the link whenever. Yeah, man, I'll drop it. I'm going to say my thoughts, say my piece, and then I'll drop it, and I'll get your perspective. Jesus M in the building. What's going on, brother? What's going on? Anyway, guys, let's get into it, man. First of all, the press was scheduled for 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and these people took about, I don't know, 45 minutes. It was about 4:45 before everything started. And I like the setup. I wish they would have had people in there. I think it's time we start putting a lot of this stuff aside. They could have had people there sitting at least, I don't know, 8-10 feet apart. They could have added a little bit of sauce to the press, but nevertheless, it's still good. J.O. Pilot, Cuba and Dominica. What's up, brother? What's up? Welcome. Very interesting, because throughout the past 6-7 months, I have been telling you guys that all the way dating back to the very first fight, Deontay Wilder was mentally defeated by Tyson Fury. And a lot of the cheerleaders and groupies got crazy when I said that. What's up, you from Puerto Rico? You that's watching from Florida. I keep hearing you subliminally mentioning my name. You ain't gotta, hey man, you ain't gotta hide behind no curtains. You ain't gotta hide behind no curtains. I know you part of the LDBC now. That's cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Tell your boys I'm talking about Deontay Wilder. Bring them over here. But anyways, Tony Boswell in the building. What is going on, my brother? Hope everything going good for you. Hopefully you have a very good rest of your day. Listen, I have been telling you guys for months that dating all the way back to the very first fight, in my opinion, after watching the sit-down interview, the face-to-face in the little table, with the British gentleman, I forgot his name. To me, looking at the reactions of both fighters, to me, that was the beginning of the psychological warfare. And to me, the very first round was won by Tyson Fury. And let me break it down for you. Here's why I say that. Because Deontay Wilder's a guy that is used to striking fear in his opponent. Obviously, the size of the man, the youth of the man, the tenacity of the man, and the power that can nobody deny the power that this young man has. So he is used to stepping into the ring with fighters that are automatically shorter than him and fighters that are automatically thinking of his power and being intimidated by it. Deontay Wilder faced a Tyson Fury who was coming off of a long layoff, had 2 little chump change fights, had lost weight from all the way from like 400 pounds to like 250 pounds. And he faced Tyson Fury thinking he was just going to go on and, get an undefeated record out the way, keep adding to his name. And at the end of the day, things didn't go his way. But during that interview, everything was going well. Everything was going well, very cordial, very educated, very manners. And Tyson Fury was going to be Tyson Fury. In a fighter, we don't just want a very good fighter. We also want somebody that's going to sell. Somebody that's entertaining. And Tyson Fury started off by saying, Deontay Wilder never faced nobody like me. Obviously, Deontay Wilder, in the middle of his pride, of his fighting ego, which is nothing wrong when you're a fighter within the business of fighting, to possess a fighting ego within the business of fighting while you're fighting or while you're in the face of your opponent, he responds and things that start getting a little heated and, and went to the spiritual realm. Because Tyson Fury was saying things that Deontay Wilder had no answers to. He wasn't used to a man looking at him dead in the eye and telling him, I'm beating you. You are really nothing. So he started going like, my ancestral spirits. You could tell the passion in Deontay Wilder's voice, how he had sort of like an anger, which is also fine on the build up to a fight. But Tyson Fury never even showed a bit of fear. Tyson Fury kept looking at him. He's like, is that an alter ego or something? It might be an alter ego, or it might be the spirits of my ancestors, because I'm partly Nigerian. And the man says, you see, I've already defeated you. I've already defeated you. If you have to go to an alter ego, you've already lost. You can't lose against me. I don't go to no spirits. I go to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, he said. And then Deontay Wilder kept trying to like find ways to reply. And then he lost the words. And then he went from, there's only one more, interrupting, right? It got out of hand. Tyson Fury gained the upper hand. Not only that, the buildup through that fight, Tyson Fury was just putting pressure, saying things to Wilder he wasn't used to hearing. Getting on his face like he hadn't, like nobody had gotten in his face before. So the fight night comes and the man gets in there and the man starts. First round opens up and Wilder starts losing rounds. He knocks Fury down and Fury gets back up and keeps losing rounds. Then he nearly knocked Fury out for 5 seconds in the last round. The man gets up and beats him the remainder of the round. So there is the first psychological stabbing. There's the first psychological wound. I'm not ignoring your comments, people. I will get to your comments. I just got to decompress. Damn, I usually tap people and they gone. I dropped this fool. He got up, kept beating me. I nearly knocked him out in the last round, like the Undertaker rising from the dead. He gets up and backs me up and beats me the remainder of the round. I really got a gift from the judges because there's no way mathematically I could have won that fight when I only won 2 rounds, but it's a draw. Now I'm fighting him again. And so I must put on some weight. I'm gonna put some 19 pounds on me while the other dude put 17. And the build up to the second fight was even better. Now, a lot of cheerleaders, a lot of people are making excuses. Well, they were told not to be so furious. Man, they must have told Deontay Wilder that because Tyson Fury was still relentless in the build up, still talking, still saying things, still beating Wilder to the psychological game. Wilder's not used to having a man in front of him telling him, you're a bum and I'm knocking you out. Wilder's not used to fighting a man taller than him by 2 inches and that weighs that much more than him. Wilder's not used to having a man during the press conference get up and say, come on, get in front of me. Let's go a little bit at it. Wilder wasn't used to any of that. So I imagine, this is just me, that inside his head, Wilder's asking himself the question, why isn't he scared of me? Why is this man looking at me and yelling at me and telling me that I'm a bum and he's knocking me out? When the rest of my opponents, I look at them and they tremble. I see weeping and gnashing of teeth when I look at him because I'm a god. Tyson Fury didn't give a damn at all. At all. And he kept pushing forward and he kept scarving the psychological game. Second fight comes. And I got to be real with you. I got to be real with you. Second fight comes and the rest is history. The second fight comes and the jabs and the 1-2s are there and there's nothing the man can do. I would imagine that while this fight's taking place, while he's getting tagged with the lead left hooks and the 1-2s and he's being backed, I would imagine that in his head, he's having flashbacks of Tyson Fury telling him, you're a bum and I'm knocking you out. Do you not think that fighters, when they find themselves in trouble, get flashbacks? They get desperate to find a way out? Because I can tell you they do. I would imagine that Deontay Wilder going back to the corner, it doesn't matter what Mr. Brilliant told him. He just wasn't going to find an answer to what this man brought because our trainers can only do so much for us. And we'll go into that because that's very important what Tyson Fury told Malik Scott tonight. You know how we as fighters, we get so used to blaming the trainers for our downfall. Back it up. Back it up. Back it up. We get a little bit into that. We're going to get a little bit into that. By the way, big video by Boxing Sauce. All credit to him. So Deontay Wilder has been dealing with this man from the very first fight. Deontay Wilder has seen a man that has no fear of him. Deontay Wilder has seen a man who he fought and he literally got a gift against. And he knows in his head he lost. But hey, you was given a draw. You better ride with it and act like it. Right? And now he's dealing with this man again, telling him, I'm knocking you out. You're a bum. And the man's actually doing right here as we speak everything he said. I'm going to pressure you. I'm coming after you. Look at how relentless Tyson Fury is being in this fight. Jab, jab, 1-2, buckling him. Are you going to tell me that's not taking a psychological toll on this man? You must be up out your mind and you ain't never lived in the real world if you don't think that's taking a toll on this man. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now. So, I'm not saying that Deontay Wilder is scared of Tyson Fury. That's where you guys got to draw the line between emotions and rationalism. And you have to open your little ears and you have to reason with me. And you have to view the picture I'm trying to paint. And then you have to go and analyze the videos that I'm talking about. And then you have to draw your own conclusion before you come around with your little, slapping gums and slapping your heels and crying about Mr. Deontay Wilder. And disclaimer, as I always like to do, I'm not talking about Deontay Wilder in his personal life. I'm sure that as a man outside of the ring, he's a great friend, a great, co-worker, family member, great father. That's not the Wilder I'm talking about. Let's leave that Wilder in Tuscaloosa. I'm talking about the Wilder that you've seen here in black trunks inside the ring. So don't get all worked up about it. I personally loved Deontay Wilder because I viewed him as our American champion. I viewed him with this alpha male mentality, with this, you could see the aura on this man until he started coming up with the obvious excuses. I can't lie to you guys. I think that Deontay Wilder has not recuperated himself from the psychological aspect of what Fury has caused to him. We were expecting today to have all of the evidence from all of the accusations and allegations that's been brought against Tyson Fury, that's been brought against Mr. Mark Brillin, that's been brought against Mr. Ricky Hatton, that's been brought against the referee you're seeing there, that's been brought against the Nevada State Athletic Commission, that's been brought against the water boy, that's been brought against the glove inspector in the locker rooms. But as of now, we've seen nothing other than words. Slapping gums is what they've been doing. Well, praise God Almighty, we live in a country where you have to have evidence beyond a reasonable doubt in order to accuse somebody and make them pay for what they've done. I got to tell you this, guys. I got to tell you this. I'm very excited for this. I'm very excited for this third fight. And we'll go into the predictions after I give you my opinion on the press conference today. So the press conference starts, and obviously Tyson Fury, being Tyson Fury, comes out without his shirt. The showman, he's selling the tickets. Deontay Wilder comes out with his headphones. You guys seen it. I ain't got to tell you. You saw it. The faithful coffee. Thanks to the wifey for hooking me up. Deontay Wilder gets the first shot of the microphone because this time around it's not Wilder Fury, it's Fury Wilder. He kept it short and sweet. All the talking's been done. I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And it's time to cut his head off. And I like what Fury did immediately. I'm telling you, this guy's playing the mind games immediately. Fury said, I'm glad this man has found Jesus Christ as his Lord and Savior, because the last time him and I talked about that, he was worshiping other gods. Facts. In fact, you can go back to the interview, and then there's a point in the interview where Wilder tells Tyson Fury, well, it's my God versus your God, even though Fury clearly told him that his God is Jesus Christ. And that's why Fury said, I'm glad you have found my God as your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, because last time we talked about, you were talking about other God, and it was clear that my God won. Now, that's mind games. That's immediately taking away the little upper hand and making him know, hey, it doesn't matter what you say, I'm going to have a comeback for you. And I like what Tyson Fury did. The man talked. He talked his piece. And then the man says something very key. And this is where you're going to see how the Deontay Wilder's excuse against Mark Brilliant starts to disappear. As I've told you guys plenty of times before, from first-hand experience, I can only teach one of my fighters what to do. It's completely up to him to execute it. I can't jump in the ring and execute it for him. All I can do is yell it out. It is his job to pay attention to me and then put it and execute it. So I like what Tyson Fury said. Deontay Wilder's a one-trick pony power. That's it. There is no way that what Malik Scott has been teaching him, he's going to implement in there. Everybody's got a plan until they get hit. And once I hit him, you're going to see the exact same Deontay Wilder we are used to seeing. Now I'm hoping that that's not true, because I really would like to see a back and forward in this fight. I would like to see Wilder go down, Fury go down a few times as well. I would like to have 12 rounds of just crazy nerve-wracking action, and let the man win. Let the best man win, right? Let the best man win. Tyson Fury went after the trainer as well. He told him, how can you teach something that you weren't even great at? Now, that makes a little bit of no sense, because the best trainer I've ever seen in the world when it comes to boxing was a horrible boxer himself, but it's the mind game. It's causing controversy. It's having a comeback. It's having a dialogue. It's having a word-by-word fight. It's the mind game. Relax, cheerleaders. Take a chill pill and lower your emotions. I like how then he imitated Deontay Wilder. And let me tell you something. Had I been in that press conference, if I was Deontay Wilder, if I was Tyson Fury, I would have clearly said, next time this man don't talk, I get up and I leave, and there's no press conference, because we're both here to sell the tickets. Now, mind you, this fight don't need neither of them to sell tickets. This fight's going to sell itself, but it's to create that psychological pressure. If you ain't talking next time, I'm getting up. It's to try to shake Deontay Wilder and put a thought in his head, put a doubt in his head about his behavior on the next press conference. The simple fact that I saw Deontay Wilder quiet today, ignoring the press conference, putting music or whatever it was in his headphones in order to block whatever was coming from the other side, can be translated into two things. One, he either just plainly doesn't care. Two, he knows that there's nothing he can say to this man to defeat him, so he might as well find a way to avoid him. I'll leave that, and you can take that for what it's worth. I'll be catching up with the comments pretty soon. To see a Deontay Wilder who was exiting himself from the press conference, he was there physically, but psychologically, he was trying to remain somewhere else. He was there physically, but his head wasn't on the game. It was Malik Scott versus Tyson Fury. Sugar Hill didn't have a lot of action. He don't need to. He's got a fighter that can carry the action for him. He's got a fighter that can carry the action. Think about it. When have you seen a boring Tyson Fury conference, press conference, or even post conference, or even interview? When have you seen it? Talk to me. I'm trying to hear that. Now, you might say, Ranger, you're being a bit too hard on Deontay Wilder. The funny thing is, I haven't accused Deontay Wilder of anything, of being scared of Tyson Fury. I told you that the action could have been translated to two things. Either he was super scared because he doesn't know what to say to Tyson Fury to shut him up, or he just doesn't care. He's not scared, and he's like, you know what? I'm in my zone. I'm going to block out, and I'm going to tear your head off whenever we fight. I'll leave that for what it's worth. You choose the path you want to go. I'm going to be dropping the link pretty soon, but only for Brilliant Jr. And then once I'm done with Brilliant Jr., I'll take a few of you, and I would love to hear your thoughts. Remember to hit the thumbs up as you come in. And if you can, drop the link on your social media platforms so this video can start being exposed. Now, what was interesting is the fact that Deontay Wilder, there was a few things in the very last moments of the press conference. Everybody's done talking, yada, yada, yada. Time to face off. Tyson Fury comes out, as always. And before we go there, Tyson Fury say he gonna knock him out faster now. And he's not coming at 270 pounds. He's coming at 300 this time. 300 pounds. Few things that worry me about that. Yeah, he's bigger. Yeah, he might have a little more pop behind the punches, but will he be able to carry the weight for 12 rounds if it goes 12 rounds? Sugar Hill said now he knows how to punch after working this long with him. And that is a fact, ladies and gentlemen. You know how we've been talking about Shakur Stevens' lack of power. And I've been telling you, it's not that he's got lack of power. It is his boxing style that prevent him from providing more knockouts. It's the same thing with Tyson Fury. He was the little slickster, the one that was looking to tap you and move out the way to make you miss and then counterpunch you and move out the way and dance circles around you. Maybe Sugar Hill is now like, yeah, keep that, but I'm going to need you to plant your feet a little more when you shoot that right hand. When you shoot that check right left hook and you let go of that right hand, I need you to put that foot to the ground. I need you to tense that glute and turn your hip on it. Maybe that's what they mean. Maybe there's a little more pop behind it. Now, is he a one-punch knockout artist? I don't believe so. But then again, it's the psychological warfare. It's the psychological warfare, ladies and gentlemen, and it's fair. It's fair on the build-up to the press, to the fight. You can talk about everybody, whoever you want to talk about everybody's mama, daddy, whatever. You know, ultimately, you'll have to face the consequences, but whatever you need to do to make the show exciting, I think you should when there's millions of dollars involved. Now, mind you, if you went outside of your moral to sell this fight, you better clarify that after the fight, and you better make your pieces. You don't want to create and leave a wrong image of yourself that's not really who you are in the eyes of the world. But you look at Tyson Fury, man. Tyson Fury in this fight just didn't care. He told, I would love to lick and taste your blood. And this man did it. Psychological aspect. Technique. Sharp skills. Movement. Pressure. Let me ask you a question. I want you to think about this for a minute. These two fighters have fought 2 times. Out of the 2 times, Deontay Wilder has won 3-4 rounds, arguably, maybe 4 rounds, if you really want to be generous. Do you actually think, let's say Deontay Wilder did learn how to box this time around, and he's coming to box. Do you actually think Deontay Wilder is going to come to show better boxing skills to Tyson Fury? I'm waiting for the answer. Impossible. Let me ask you another question. Do you think that on a hand-to-hand, boxing to boxing, Deontay Wilder is going to have the upper hand over Tyson Fury? No, I'll answer that for you. It's no. Can Deontay Wilder land the right hand at any moment and finish Tyson Fury's night? Yes. It's boxing, and the man's got the power to turn the lights off. The problem he's having is he's still just dependent on that one thing that may or may not come, because both of these fighters have dropped each other twice. I am truly hoping that in the build-up for this fight, we get a Deontay Wilder actually opens up, that gives us a show, that incentivizes people to really, really, really want to buy this fight. Because guess what? There are actual people that are saying, I already seen who's the better. I don't need to buy the third one. No, we need you. Buy it. Boxing needs you. So I need these two fighters to actually start selling themselves, push each other, throw water at each other, turn tables, destroy microphones. They ain't nothing but $200. Cost a scene. Incentivize those people that are speaking and thinking like that. Incentivize them to want to come and watch the fight. But if you're just going to be sitting there with your headphones on and one dude is doing all the talking, if I was Tyson Fury, I get up and I go, homie. The minute I see you walking out with some headphones on, I'm gone. Now it's up to y'all to sell the fight. I'm out of here. It's just a way to try to get Deontay Wilder out of the cushioning he's created for himself. And I got to tell you, I truly hope, my goodness, do I hope that we get a hell of a back and forward fight this time around. I don't want to see a one-sided fight in the way I saw last time. Hail to the no. To the no, no, no. And if I was Tyson Fury, you know what I'll bring? You know what I would bring? There you go. If I was Tyson Fury, I would try to bring I would try to bring the gloves hanging in my neck from the second fight. I really would. Just to play mind games, I would bring the gloves. Because you got to win the psychological warfare on this. I'm hoping, to be honest with you, that there's another press. I doubt that there will be because of COVID, but I'm hoping that there's another. But if there isn't, like I said, this fight is already sold. This fight has already created enough drama. This fight has already created enough soap opera style of videos. And so I'm going to drop the link and I'm going to take Mark Brilliant's son, Anthony Brilliant, and I will only take him for now. So he can chop it up with me for a little bit, and then I'll have some of y'all jump in. Again, I don't want to see a one-sided fight. I want to see Fury go down. I want to see Wilder go down. I want to see blood. I want to see both fighters wanting to genuinely take each other's head off. I truly do. I truly want to see that. I want to see the animosity that has been created out there translated into the ring. I want to see it. I truly believe that Deontay Wilder still owes us a lot. You don't just go around making accusations without providing evidence. He said he has evidence. We ain't seen it just yet. He said he's got evidence, yet nothing he said goes hand in hand with what he talked about, because when it comes to the gloves, Chad Pettis, what's up, brother? When it comes to the gloves, what's up, champ? How you doing, brother?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Thank you for being here with us. I know that, well, let's just say that the person we're talking about is not a stranger to you.
Man, that press conference, it's kind of weird, man. I already knew Tyson Fury was gonna come out and do what he's doing, but that whole Deontay being quiet, I'm just not buying it.
Yeah.
It's not. He's not convincing me.
Yeah.
That he's changed or nothing. Honestly, I kind of thought that was like a waste of our time. To be honest, you came in there, didn't say a word, playing music. Like, come on. Yeah,
correct.
You have Malik Scott speaking for you, and I honestly think he did that on purpose because he don't want to answer any of those questions.
Hey, that's a good way to put it.
I thought he was gonna come with proof, but hey, you know. But you know, they sweep that under the rug, of course.
Of course. I think that this would have been it. The opportunity to ask the hard questions and the opportunity to Deontay Wilder in front of the very man he's accusing, in front of him, to provide the evidence, but nothing. Just like we've never seen evidence of the accusation he's brought against your father.
But and you saw the recent interviews, right? When he was talking a lot. He's been talking a lot lately. Where was this?
Correct. It's time that that people, I think people need to stop allowing themselves to be, from being played this easy, because I'll give you for example, and I had a gentleman in this chat that claims that he has been in Deontay Wilder's camp plenty of time. He goes by the name of World Start something, something like that.
Whatever, World Combat
Sport. Yeah, World Combat Sport. He claims he's been there plenty of times and he's shared moments with the champ and yada yada yada. And we had a back and forward. You know, I explained to him all of the things that I had questions about. And even him being around Wilder, he couldn't provide me an answer. All he said was like, well, you got a good point. I couldn't answer that. Well, damn, then why are you here? In the accusations towards your father, when it comes to the water, I'm telling him, JD's touched water as well. I'm telling him, I'm looking at JD's handing the water to your father, right? No answer to that one. In the accusations about the hand wraps, the glove, the egg weight, all of that stuff, oh, well, the camera's turned off. I'm like, it doesn't matter if the camera's turned off. JD's eyes was still on those gloves.
He was in the room.
He was in the room. So the power could have gone off. The internet could have dropped. It doesn't matter. Deontay Wilder's team is still there.
And didn't they say, then Deontay say JD is, but he was inexperienced, so it wasn't that serious. Now, just excuses, man.
I think that the way that he constructed all of the accusations towards your father, mainly, and then the way how he tried to justify that your father, at that point, I just kept him around as a charity because I liked the guy and yada yada yada. I think that was very low.
But then you see how he contradicts himself, saying that he always knew my dad. He thought my dad was always jealous of him and everything. So this dude's just full of it. That's correct. Why I don't understand. Like, people just disregard what he says. His fans.
Correct.
Only his fans believe what he's saying. To be
correct. Correct. Have you had the opportunity to talk to your father about this coming and fight? Anything you can share with us, if it's fine?
Honestly, he just.
Or is he just outside of it? He doesn't care.
You know what's crazy? He really doesn't care. Like, he doesn't. Obviously, if he loses, then that'll be cool. But
yeah,
no, he doesn't. He really doesn't care. He doesn't really talk about it. He's like, it's whatever. I mean, Deontay is the one still talking about him.
Correct.
Obviously, so.
And that's what makes your father even bigger, because Deontay is the one slapping gums with accusation without evidence, and your pops is living his life. I follow him on Instagram. I see how he's just chilled and he ain't even worried about nothing. It's just another day in the life of Mark Brillen. You know what I mean?
He literally doesn't care. To be honest, he really doesn't.
Yeah. Now, I got to be real with you. I would have loved, and a lot of people, when I say this, a lot of people think that I have something against Deontay Wilder, but I've explained this plenty of times. I would have loved to have seen a lawsuit come from either Fury or your father towards Wilder. Here's why.
Mm-hmm.
Here's why. Before people start getting crazy. Say that you, Anthony Brillen, accuse me of tampering with your water.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Well, if you sue me and you have the truth, then the truth will come out in court and I will pay for the consequences. But if you take me to court and you don't have evidence to the accusations that you are bringing up against me, then ultimately you are the one that's going to wind up paying the consequences, right?
Yeah.
But as of now, I have never seen him provide evidence for your father and against your father, I should say. And I think that was one of the major red flags. It's like, I personally would not let that go. If a trainer of mine tampered my water, ultimately putting my life at risks, I would want that man behind bars.
Exactly.
But he never did anything, did he?
No.
Absolutely nothing. And that's why, I've always said, I can only go by the evidence. And as of now, there's none. It's all him slapping gums. And guess what? Anybody can make an accusation, but in order to be believable, we need to see the things that back up the accusations. And as of now, nothing.
I thought he was going to show us in the press conference. That's what his fanboys were saying. He's going to show us in the press conference. I didn't see anything. He literally, honestly, no one can tell me that he didn't try to duck the questions.
Of course.
Come on now. You playing music.
So let me ask you something about your dad. Is he back in, is he working with any fighters, or is he still just, taking a chill pill, vacationing, just living his life? Because I haven't seen much from him other than the things he posts in Instagram.
Yeah, he's just very low key.
Low key. Yeah, I can tell in his demeanor as well.
Yeah, he's just been chilling. Like he has like other fighters, but he's just really been relaxing right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, even in his demeanor, like I said, and you see your father speak, he's just a dude that's like, let's go through it. Let's just live life.
But it's crazy. He didn't even want to speak out at first. When
I remember
Deontay even said anything. I kept seeing this stuff. I'm like, yo, you got to say something. I'm like, you have to say something. That's what I was telling him. And he eventually did it, but he didn't want to say anything at first because he's like, this is a waste of time, man. I know I didn't do it, but I just told him, just say you didn't do it. You know what I mean? Because people gonna be like, oh well, he didn't deny it. You know those people.
Yeah. He your dad kind of reminds me of that kind of person that's like, they are, they know the truth, and therefore I don't have to excuse myself because I know what's true. It's almost like you had to force his own defense out of his mouth, because he's so confident he didn't do anything wrong that he doesn't care to defend himself, nor does he care whether you think he's guilty or not.
He really doesn't care.
Yeah, that's how chill he literally is.
like come on now.
Like, does he stress at all? Because that's something I envy. Like, I don't know if it's just, I mean, he doesn't seem to be acting for the Instagram videos. It seems like your dad is just stressing him just don't get along. It's like he's so calm and like,
he's just always, that's the thing about him, man. He's always just been so calm. Even when I remember even watching his older videos back in the day, he's just always had that calm demeanor. Just relaxed. He's just relaxed in the ring. He's just
a methodical thinker too.
Yeah, he's just that's how he's always been. You can barely hear him when he speaks.
Now, let me ask you a question. Obviously, you're not a stranger to Deontay Wilder. I'm sure you've been around him a few times. What are your thoughts coming into this third fight? Like, honestly speaking, I know there's animosity, and I don't blame you, but honestly speaking, what are your honest thoughts on this fight? Can you really see a Deontay Wilder like Malik Scott? By the way, somebody introduced Malik Scott as a great heavyweight, one of the great heavyweights, which, you know, I defer on that. But with all the respect to Malik, he wasn't one of the greats.
I'm not gonna speak on Malik.
Correct. But can you truly tell me your honest thoughts that Malik Scott just took a Deontay Wilder and transformed him into a different machine?
Don't believe it. To be honest, like I said, Deontay, I've always said this, Deontay has a puncher's chance.
Always, yeah.
Always. But you got, like, only his fans think that he's gonna come in there and just totally outbox. How are you gonna go in there and outbox a guy that's been practicing his craft for years and years and years? You've been doing this for a training camp. You think you're gonna just come in there and outbox him? That's not gonna happen. But when I say that, I'm being a hater. No, I'm being honest.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen. Fury's been doing this for years. That's what he's known for, being a boxer. So, like, I do agree with Tyson Fury. I feel like when he gets punched in the face, he's gonna revert right back to that style because he's been doing it for 15 years.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I really don't know what to expect from him. I think he's gonna revert right back to it, 100%.
One of the things that it was interesting to me, because I said, you know, I don't know. But if you go back in his career, you could tell in some of the Luis Ortiz fights how your dad's giving him certain instructions, yet he goes back out and keeps doing the exact same mistakes, makes no adjustments, but you see him go to the corner and Brilliant is giving him tactical instructions.
Literally.
But he can't go out and execute
it. In that Ortiz fight, when he got hurt, he told him, move around, jab, but you can hear him say it.
Yeah.
Move around. My dad already knew he can win. My dad already knew what to do in that fight. It's just, man, I don't know, man. Just don't listen, man.
Yeah.
He really doesn't listen.
And what's crazy now that you said that, I'm kind of glad that you reminded me that is Malik Scott himself said, well, Deontay's very stubborn and Deontay gonna do what Deontay gonna do. So, and then contradicts himself by saying, no, he already does everything I tell him to do. But at the end of the day, he's still stubborn and Deontay gonna do what Deontay gonna do. So we're starting to see the veil dropped here a little bit, right? I got to be real with you. I'm kind of hoping he does listen because I'm kind of hoping we don't have such a one-sided fight.
Beyond, like, as much as I, like, you know, even with everything happening, I don't want to see a one-sided fight either. I want this to be entertaining, but man, I honestly think it's going to be one-sided.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be. I want it to be entertaining. I don't want to sit there and just watch one fight just get beat up a lot. I don't like those type of fights.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, it all depends for me. Like, if it's against a fighter that I do carry a bit of animosity towards, I do want to see him, you know, get pummeled a little bit. But at the end of the day, especially when it comes to the heavyweight division, I want to see two dudes that weigh more than 200 pounds put some leather on each other. Yeah, you know,
if he wins, he wins. Like, I ain't gonna be upset, but man, it'd be cool if he did lose though. But yeah, like
I don't blame you, man. You can be. I'm not wanting you to be partial. I want you to be you. Yeah, and I understand if you have some animosity. I would have some too if somebody brought accusations like that towards my own father. See, you know,
I've never been really like emotional about the situation. If you even see the other videos, I haven't been emotional. I just had a problem with, like, I'm like, all right, come on, Spike Water, man. You don't even have no proof for that. Like, the glove game and all that, I can care less about that. Yeah, I don't believe it, but I can care less about it, man. Like,
yeah,
that's between you and Fury. But yo, you talking about Spike Water, man? I just want to see the proof, man. That's all.
Correct. And for those people on the chat that might be thinking, well, you know, well, Mark Brilliant has never defended himself. He might be guilty. No, he doesn't need to. You know why? Because there is post-fight drug testing. Now you might say, well,
but they don't test for that. Oh, shut up.
Exactly. They don't know nothing. Now, in order for you to know how much of a lie this is, those drug tests can pick up to picograms of any substance in your blood.
I remember.
You know what a picogram is?
I remember. Yeah, John Jones.
It's like nothing. And those tests can pick it up. So if there was enough substance in whatever water Mark Brillen allegedly tampered with to affect, or enough substance to affect a 220 or 230 pound man, it would have came on that post-fight drug test. But the drug tests were clean.
Look at John Jones. Picogram. Man, I remember in the interview he said I had a picogram or something like that. I'm like, what the hell is that?
Nothing. It's literally, you need a microscope to see it. It's literally nothing.
Like, if they want to find something, they would have found it. That's why I'm just...
Like I asked, we're a combat sport, though. You know, we fired Mark Brillen because he, quote unquote, tampered with the water. Okay, they fired your dad over there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why was JD's never questioned about the glove, the hand wrap, and the egg weight situation? And he's still in the camp. Now, that's who we need to be questioning. Not so much Mark Brillen. I feel like Deontay Wilder, knowing that your pops is such a chill dude and doesn't care,
that's why he picked him.
He said, you know what, I'm gonna pick on him because I know he ain't gonna have a care in the world. So I need a channel to send this excuses, and then he came after your pops.
I think that's the reason. He knows how my dad is. Quiet dude, chill dude, not loud.
Exactly.
Man, he's probably yelled at me my whole life twice.
Yeah, you must have done something wrong to get a chill dude like that.
Yeah,
to get to yell at you
twice. Like, man, he's very, like, I don't understand people, like, he really doesn't care about a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
it's kind of like crazy to me.
Yeah. I got an aunt. Her husband is like that. He's an engineer, and his demeanor is always to just calm like water. People could be arguing, debating, and he's just like calm, silent.
Yeah.
If he speaks, his tone of voice doesn't go up. Yeah. I envy those kind of people because I'm short tempered, and I get heated real quick, and I hate it. But
yeah,
you know,
when my dad does get angry though, that's
well, obviously, yeah.
Nah, man, jeez.
So, in your opinion, because you never really gave me, how do you see this fight playing? Can we see a knockout? Fury said this is not going as far as it did the last time. Thoughts? And he said he coming weighing 300 pounds. That's about 20, probably. 20 something pounds more than the last time.
He carries the weight so good though.
Yeah, I know. He's light on his feet, regardless of how heavy he is.
So, I don't think he's gonna come out exactly 300 because he said he was gonna come in like, I think he said he was gonna come in like 280 something, but he came in like 270, like 270, 260 something in the second fight. So he might just be exaggerating.
Yeah,
he might come in around like maybe like 280, 290. But I think honestly, I think Tyson Fury is gonna do the same thing again. Honestly,
okay.
I think he's gonna do the same thing again. It might be quicker this time, but Deontay, I'm still gonna give him a puncher's chance.
Oh, you always have to. When it comes to Deontay, whoever wants to deny him the puncher's chance is just a plain idiot.
They're just being delusional. But yeah, I'm giving him a puncher's chance, but Tyson Fury is just better. He's just a better fighter than him. Better.
Now we seen how quick was he able to adjust under a few, 5 weeks on the Sugar Hill. Now they've been working for almost 2 years, year and a half to be exact. So we keep talking about Malik Scott and Deontay Wilder, but that's a new relationship. Now we have Sugar Hill and Deontay and Tyson Fury, who were able to make major adjustments in 5 weeks preparing to the second fight. Now they've been working this long. What kind of a Fury are we going to expect? Because we saw how Sugar Hill was able to make him adjust to be able to punch better the last time.
That's how it is. That pillow fist stuff is kind of stupid because people don't realize he's still a big guy.
Correct.
So all you need to see Fury. He's never punched correctly, so now he's Kronk. You know that. Look at the fighters that came out that gym. You know he's learned turn the right hand. Like that's what even me and my dad are talking about. He's like the only reason why. He said he can knock Deontay out. It's very possible. He just has to hit him one good time. He has to hit him right.
Yeah,
that's all it is. People, I don't understand this whole thing of he can't knock him out. That's just not true.
Yeah, that's not true at all.
So
heavyweights can knock each other out at any time.
That's what I'm saying. So I think Sugar. I think Fury's gonna come out probably even stronger this time. He still has really good defense. I know he's.
Oh yeah.
I know he's. But that's the thing. I don't. People like Fury's just gonna come in there. You know, he's just gonna totally disregard Deontay's power. I don't think so. Obviously, I'm pretty sure Fury's smart enough to realize, okay, yeah, this guy can still punch. I'm pretty sure he's gonna still be moving his head and everything. But I think,
of course,
Fury's gonna come in there. He's gonna be way stronger this time. He's gonna lean his body on him, rough him up, and just do the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see Fury applying the pressure and actually laying him, laying on top of him, forcing Wilder to have to push him out, get that blood pumping into Wilder's arms, get those arms to drop. I can see all of those techniques. In the middle of that, I can also keep in mind that there is a puncher's chance,
of course,
for Wilder. But I don't know if Wilder has made much adjustments, to be honest with you. And here's why. I don't know who he's been sparring in the heavyweight in his camp.
You don't know.
You cannot find me one heavyweight that moves like Tyson Fury. You cannot find me a heavyweight as big as Tyson Fury that moves like Tyson Fury or even simulates Tyson Fury in order to prepare you for Tyson Fury. I think that's one of the issues we're having here.
Like you can get a guy that fights just like Deontay.
Oh yeah, you can find hundreds of those. And you can find hundreds of those. You can find people that fight better than Deontay.
Yeah, no.
Now, they may not carry the power that Deontay carry, but they can simulate the man, really good.
Yeah.
So I still have that question is like, yeah, you're with Malik Scott. Yeah, he's teaching you a few little tricks here and there, but who are you implementing it against in the sparring sections that's going to say that guy fights like Fury, and I know this changes are going to work? That's a question that I'm having a hard time producing an answer to be honest with you.
Yeah, I really don't know. I want to I can care less about these videos on the pads. I want to see the sparring.
I mean, like Bruce Lee said, boards don't hit people or nobody. Pads don't hit nobody either.
They don't.
Anybody looks flashy on pads.
So it's just. I don't really care about pad work. People, his fans are like, oh, Fury's running scared now. You think Fury's probably laughing at those videos. I'm be honest with you.
Oh, of course.
Like, I need to see sparring. I need to see him actually implementing it on guys. Because if he's not, like you can slip somebody when they're literally telling you to slip.
Correct.
It's very easy. So. But when it's in an actual fight, it's gonna be totally different. So
now I'm gonna ask you. Go ahead. Finish.
Oh yeah, one thing. When I saw in one of the pads, Deontay ducking down,
his weaving is not good.
He's not doing. His whole.
You know what that reminded me of when I saw him do that? It reminded me of Ricardo Mayorga against De La Hoya. How Mayorga tried to implement the same moves, and De La Hoya, being the better boxer, went to the mid range and put work to the side of his head as he was ducking, he was trying to bob and weave.
I think if Deontay tries to do that, I think Fury's gonna come up with an uppercut
and get him.
Fury's a good inside fighter.
Yep.
Deontay can't fight inside. He can't fight backwards. He can't. I don't know. Like, he's gonna really? I don't know if he's gonna implement all of that into his game in one training camp. Because he said they've had 4 or 8 training camps like that. But didn't he say that he remember a couple interviews a couple months ago? He said, "I'll be honest with you, I haven't even been training." So another lie.
Yeah, I think there's contradictions in a lot of the things he says, and that's what bothers me, and that's what I try to explain to his. I'm not even going to call him Wilder fans, because I feel I'm disrespecting actual fans.
Yeah,
that's what bothers me about Deontay Wilder's groupies and cheerleaders. It's like you're not willing to hear the man and pick apart the contradictions and call him out on it.
yeah.
You always want to put everything he says and add it as a new book in the Bible. It's not fair to do that. We're not going to have a fair assessment of the fighter if all you're trying to do is categorize everything he says as automatic truths. It's just not fair to do that. And so, but here's the last two questions I got for you so I can open the panel. And then if you want to hang out, cool. If you got things to do, I also understand. I thank you for even jumping in here with us today. Here's the two questions I got for you. If Deontay Wilder loses, is his career over, or what is your opinion on that?
I'm gonna say his career is over. I think him mentally. I think he's already weak mentally. He showed me that in his press conference. I don't think anybody was convinced by that except his groupies, like you said.
Exactly.
So I think if he loses this again in the same way, man, he might be done. But like I said, I don't. Me personally, I feel like he shouldn't be done after this. He's just gonna have to really take a back seat and build his way up, build his way back up.
Okay.
Because after this, man, you lost. He did lose the first fight, but
of course, I tell people all the time.
Second fight convincingly, man. If you lose the third fight again, we're gonna look back at these training videos that you posted. We're gonna look back at all of this. You know what I mean? We're gonna.
That is correct.
Yo,
we're gonna look at all the interviews.
We're gonna look.
Can you imagine if this man gets knocked out and then Fury refuses to take his gloves off until Wilder is standing in front of him and has Wilder inspect his gloves to kind of show him, look, I knocked you out. Here's the gloves. What's your excuse now? Can you imagine if something like that was to happen?
I think Deontay would be done.
He'd
be done.
Wow. If Wilder wins, do we want to see a fourth fight, or have we seen enough of this?
Man, I can care less. If Deontay wins, he wins, man. I just want to see it undisputed. I don't think Deontay's gonna get undisputed. To be honest with you,
yeah.
Why he was champion, we didn't get it. He champion for 5 years, we didn't get the undisputed. And I'll be honest with you, even when my dad was training him, I wasn't on that groupie stuff with the Anthony Joshua's ducking him. I knew I knew what was going on. I read. I know how to read, man. I was just with Deontay. You know what I mean? I was rooting for him, obviously, because my dad. But I knew what was going on.
Of course.
Come on.
Now, here's a question that just popped into my head, and then I'll open the panel. Is your father gonna go watch the fight or no?
Oh yeah, he's gonna watch it.
Would it be cool for him to go in person, or is he gonna buy the pay-per-view?
Probably just buy the pay-per-view. He's not gonna beat it up. Nah.
Yeah, that would be a uncomfortable situation, should we say?
Yeah, it'd be very uncomfortable for him, just cause it's like gonna have his people, idiots there. You know what I mean? Probably try to start trouble.
Correct.
Who knows? But he's definitely gonna probably just be watching at home. So I might watch it with him. Who knows? But yeah,
that'd be kind of cool. That would be kind of cool, man. Well, Anthony, man, I thank you for being here. Like I said, you're welcome to stay. I'm gonna open up the panel for everybody to jump in, give me their assessment of what they saw today, what they thought. So I'm gonna be here another 30 minutes, and then I got it. I gotta hang it, man. So, like I said, welcome to chat. Hang around with us. We got Drew Evo with us in the house. What's up, Drew Evo?
That's how many rounds it's gonna be for the Bronze Bomber career again. 5 rounds.
5 rounds. That's all it's gonna take.
It goes bye-bye in 5 rounds. That's the prediction right now. But what's up, guys? How you doing?
We're doing fine, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm waiting to clock in at my job real quick. I figure I'd jump in for like 10 minutes and give my view on the press conference. I thought it was funny.
Okay.
I thought that Deontay Wilder showed how much Tyson Fury's in his head.
Good
And
point.
I really think that he's mentally broken because why would he have earphones on if he didn't want to listen to the dude? He's mentally broken.
Correct.
And a broken fighter is a useless fighter.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good way to put it.
It's kind of ridiculous, man.
And yeah, it's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous that he just spoke for 25 seconds, said the same thing he said before the second fight, and then just put his earphones on and says, let his manager, his coach do the talking. And by the way, Malik Scott's from Philadelphia, and I still thought he is an average heavyweight at best.
Good point. He definitely not no great heavyweight as he was introduced.
Tyson Fury.
He was more like a gatekeeper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tyson Fury even said, "Yeah, I heard all of this bloodshed. I heard all of this before."
But I'll be
ain't
honest,
nothing new to him.
I'll be honest. I really thought Fury's not going to come in weighing at 300 pounds. There's no way.
Nah, I don't think so. No.
I doubt it.
Doing all that training that he's doing, he's not coming in maybe 280, 285 at most. I'll give him 285.
Yeah.
But either way, he's still going to move that slick way. He's still going to be boxing beautifully like he always does. Like you guys said earlier, Tyson Fury is very hard to prepare for because there's no heavyweight that fights like him.
I really think, and now this is just me thinking, I really think that if Wilder loses this fight, he's going to regret not taking the step aside money and then going after the winner of the Undisputed. Because that would have been a great chance that he had missed. You know, like you said, Anthony, you know, he was a champion for 5 years and he never took the Undisputed. Now he was given a chance to get some money to step aside, which, you know, it might have not been 17 or 20 million, but it was at least 10 million, right? It would be fair, right? So just step aside, let those two dudes take care of their business, and then you get the winner of the Undisputed. Yeah. And now you're fighting maybe for 100 million plus the 10 that you got to step aside. And if you lose, so what? That was 110 million dollars. You know, but if he loses now, though,
I really blame Shelly Finkel on this because he should have made him try to take the step aside because you could have earned the 10 million plus you could have taken a tune-up and made 5 million against Charles Martin. That's like 15 million, and then after that, you take the winner, you make like 25 to 30 million, so you make close to 40 million for the year. Yeah. Win, lose, or draw, you're likely going out on a $40 million year, you know, so.
And I think it's just kind of dumb to try to implement all of those skills on a guy that just beat you badly.
Correct.
I'm like,
you should be,
you should have just took a tune-up or a Charles Martin like that.
That's the main thing. You got a new trainer. Why are you not taking a tune-up fight?
Correct.
We don't even, we don't even know if Malik is a good trainer or not.
That is true, though. You know, because all we've seen is just amateur pit pats. You know, that's all we've seen is amateur level little pad hitting.
Like, then he's churning with the pads when Deontay's hitting the right hand. I'm like, oh, stop it, man.
Yeah. But you know what, though? If you go to those cheerleader channels, since they've never boxed before, or they probably boxed when they were little kids for a month or two, they can't pick up on that. And so they see that and they glorify it as if it was like the second coming of Roger Mayweather or Sugar Hill or Emmanuel Stewart. They don't see what they're seeing. They're not methodically seeing hand movement, pat movement, head movement, bobbing and weaving, position of the leg, how sloppy he's. They don't see that, right?
He's very sloppy. Yeah.
But you want to know what the problem is? The main thing you don't see in those videos, him backing up and practicing his craft. Him on his back foot.
Correct.
That's the main thing you don't see in those videos.
Correct.
And that's the thing that makes me think that he has no chance still.
I wouldn't say he has no chance. I would say the only chance he has is the puncher's chance. But Drew, you're taking it further and saying he has no chance.
No, I think Fury.
So you're even taking away the puncher's chance.
He has a little bit of a chance, maybe like a 5% chance, but he's in his head too much.
I hear you. Damn, Drew. You came with razor blades and lime juice, brother.
Man, because here's the thing, man. People, like, I saw a tweet with Oral Spence saying that, oh, you got to root for the American fighter. how when he made up all these excuses about these gloves, and when I saw pictures of All Spence when he punched Carol Burke on my show, that his gloves bent.
Correct.
And like Malik Scott working out when he was doing the bag work, his gloves bent. They showed that on Triddle too.
Yeah.
Like, come on, like seriously, this is like all make up excuses. Like these people pick like. I wonder what these people, the next excuse they're gonna pick for Deontay Wilder. He's gonna listen to it.
Yeah. It's definitely interesting. Like I said, I don't know if they're gonna have another press or not because of COVID. They probably won't. I think this fight, it's already sold. To be honest with you, but man, I would have loved. This was the opportunity to bring credibility to all of the accusations they were bringing up. This was it.
This was it. He should have bought something, man. He doesn't have any proof. That just proved it. That just proved it.
This was the opportunity to bring forth the dirty post-fight drug test, stating that Mark Brilliant, in fact, tampered with his water, but he didn't. So all the accusation he's made against your father today must be dead. Today must go 6 feet underground because it's been proven that your father, and the reason I say he's been proven is because they had a post-fight drug test and he came clean. Therefore, whatever accusation he made against your father as far as tampering with the water died that day, but today it's time to bury it. Today it's time to bury it because he had the opportunity to bring out the evidence that proved his point beyond a reasonable doubt, and he failed.
Andrew, I'm gonna head out now, but I want to say
thank you for being here, man.
I want to say one thing before I leave. Your father was the best thing for Deontay. Was the only one that tried to improve Deontay Wilder's skills. I'm not saying that because you're here. I'm saying that because it's the truth and everything.
Yeah, and we've talked about
that.
And
he disrespected him.
Yeah.
And make accusations about him, and it's gonna come back to haunt him. Karma's a will. You know what? Everybody have a good night. Thank you, Ranger.
You too, man.
Hey, Drew, be safe out there, man.
You too.
Everybody go check the Shoe Shine Boxing. They always have a show Monday nights. Drew Evo is a part of that show. Make sure to subscribe to the Shoe Shine Boxing and support the channel as they're making their migration from Periscope to YouTube. You know, Periscope has been closed for whatever reasons. I'm not aware of all the reasons, but now their very successful show that they had at Periscope, they're trying to bring it over to YouTube, so they need your support. Go check the channel out, check the content, and if you like it, remain subscribed, activate the notification bell, and keep supporting the type of channels that are not willing to tell you lies in order to gain clicks and super chats. That's the kind of channel you need to support as a boxing fan. If you truly care about yourself, if you truly care about hearing honest truths, those are the type of channels you need to support.
Not those that beg for super chats.
Correct. I mean, I gotta be real with you. Super chats is nice. We all love, when we get support from our people. But man, I'm no better than anybody. But I just want to give you guys the truth, regardless of what it is. As hard as it is, that's all I want to do. And so, since everybody else is kind of, I guess, shy to jump in tonight, I'm gonna drop the link one more time. Whoever wants to jump in and give me their thoughts as far as the press conference tonight, you're more than welcome. Make sure to hit the one with the YouTube, not the one on Twitch. If you're watching on Twitch, hit the one with the Twitch avatar or whatever the case might be, so that you can jump in into the panel. Leading up to this, when you first heard that they had won the arbitration, what went through your head? Did you talk about it with your father? I mean, were you expecting, like the rest of us, were you expecting the Undisputed to take place? How do you react to the whole ordeal that basically made us believe the Undisputed was done?
I honestly didn't believe any of that Undisputed talk. I honestly thought we were gonna have a trilogy fight.
Okay.
I feel like there's just no way they were just not gonna have this fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
I felt like I think Tyson Fury, man, if he really wants undisputed, I mean, if this undisputed is gonna happen, Tyson Fury's gonna just need to take Deontay out. To be honest, because if Deontay wins, we're not gonna get undisputed. We're definitely not gonna get undisputed.
Yeah.
Why should we believe we're gonna get undisputed when we didn't get undisputed when he was champion?
Correct.
For years.
Well, and AJ better win over Usyk as well.
Oh yeah, AJ better
so
win.
So this undisputed thing is on a limbo right now.
It's weird.
Both of these fighters better make a statement, remain as champions, and then say, okay, now everything's out the way. We put an ink on paper and let's get this done.
Yeah.
But as of now, man, it's just I'm not gonna say I was mad, but I was kind of disappointed because like I already told people, I already seen these two men fight twice. I already saw who won most of the rounds.
We know who the better fighter is.
We know who the better fighter is. Of course, on a new fight, anything can happen because this is boxing. But for the most part, we already know who's better between both of them, right? My curiosity as a boxing fan was on the undisputed ordeal. That's what I wanted to see.
I don't care who it is. I just want disputed.
Yeah. But, it just... This is the kind of game they play in boxing behind the curtains. Obviously, there's a lot of things that were kept under the tables. And they played with us. I mean, there ain't no shame on admitting it. They played with us. They led us down this path of undisputed, knowing that this wasn't going to take place. And it is what it is. Either way, boxing wins. And here's why I say either way, boxing wins. Had we gotten undisputed, obviously, undisputed is top of the list. But now the arbitration won, right? Then at least we get to see the closing chapter to this whole soap opera ordeal that we've been dealing with for the past 18 months, right? So either way, boxing wins, man. And I thank you. I thank you for being here today, man. I really do. The time you took to chop it up with us. Hopefully your father is doing great. I know he's doing good. I hope he lands another big fighter, even if he doesn't care. Just for the sake of having people that are willing to listen, willing to implement what he teaches. Because I would love to invite people to go back to Deontay Wilder's old fights and listen to the things Mark Brilling used to tell him in the corner. And you tell me if Brilling was a good trainer or not. You make that judgment. I always say, people, one thing is what the trainer teaches you and tells you. The most important part is you putting it to execution. And that's where Deontay Wilder fell short in my book. It doesn't matter how good Brilling is. It doesn't matter the brilliant things Brilling was able to teach him. If he couldn't execute them, he can't blame Brilling. He can't just go around talking about, well, I kept him for a charity because, I felt sorry for the dude and yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. The truth matters. Common sense matters, and context matters, man. So you give a shout out to your father on behalf of RawBoxingTV, man. Thank you once again.
Appreciate you.
And man, be blessed, man. Be good.
All right, man.
Take care, man.
Take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm sorry that I have ignored your comments tonight. Obviously, I was pretty focused on what I had to say, pretty focused on the guest. You know how it is, people. You know how it is. HLD in the building. What's going on? What Rapid? What is going on, mi hermano? God bless you, man. God bless you. Maki Ignacio, what is going on? Jai Cuba, dímelo raw, man. You've been missing like freedom in Cuba. Woof. Boy, you've been missing. KD Dr. 7879 in the building. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Tyco TV, as I've already said. Maldito Licor, what is up, brother? Mikey C, what is going on? What is going on? Thanks to all of those of you that took the time to be here. Royal 1, thank you for being here to at least post a comment saying that we're goofy. Tony Boswell, what's going on, my brother? What's going on? The Shoe Shine Boxing, Calix Boxing 2.0. Everybody go check the brother out. Yeah, man. Chat Pet is in the building. What is going on, man? Thank you for being here. Thank you very much for being here. Man, let me tell you something. El Codo in the building. Thank you for being here, man. You missed the entire interview with Anthony Brillin. But, you know, you can always go back and watch everything. We shared our very good opinions about this press conference. You know, guys, most of you might think, and I don't blame you, that I might have something against this man. I don't. I don't. I really don't. I just want him to back up everything he is saying. Is that so much to ask? In other words, if I tell you I bought a camouflage hat, is it too much for me to do this and show it to you? After all, Deontay Wilder ain't God. We don't need to believe the things he says by faith. Wanting to see evidence is not hating you. Wanting to see evidence is actually, if you truly possess the evidence, it's actually helping you to have a stronger foundation to build the argument and win the argument. But as of now, nothing. As of now, nothing. Thank you, El Codo. What rep it? Yeah, I'll do a live in regards to that, but today there's a lot of channels touching on that, so I'm gonna just back out of that, allow them to talk about it. And I got another live stream this week where we're gonna be talking. I'm gonna have an MMA person joining me. We're gonna be talking about some of the things in MMA and in boxing, all of the compilations now between MMA fighters fighting in boxing, and I'm gonna include that on that live stream as well. I think it's horrible that Teofimo popped positive with the COVID. I was really looking forward for the fight, to be honest with you. But health is more important than the entertainment of the fans. My prayers and all of y'all prayers tonight should go out to this man and his family, that God may look after the situation, that we may have a good fight on August 19th with a Teofimo Lopez that is 100% when it comes to health. Because we know COVID has had the fame of causing some sort of a lung damage. So as a boxer, you need your lungs. You need your lungs 100%. So I'm just hoping there's really nothing that affects him there. And I hope Teofimo Lopez has a very successful card that day. I hope the kid wins, although I want the best man to win. But yeah, I'll be talking about that this week for sure. On the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today, man. And remember to subscribe if you haven't. Activate the notification bell. Hit the thumbs up. And if you don't mind, just grab the link to this video today. And as you exit, drop it in your social media platforms, whether it's Twitter or whether it's on Instagram. You never know who might be interested in this kind of context. To let you guys know also, my Patreon is not open. You can just search for me on Patreon, RawBoxingTV patreon.com/RawBoxingTV. The reason I open a Patreon is the following. There's a lot of videos I want to do that in YouTube will be copyrighted. There's a lot of breakdowns to fights that I want to do that in YouTube would be copyrighted. That I'm going to be able to show in Patreon. As far as the price, I think I'm going to start a subscription just at $1 a month per person, which equals to about $12 a year. But in the Patreon, here in about a month, I'm going to start creating content that's really, I'm really going to be breaking fights in detail, in slow motion, controversial decisions, controversial fights. We can study fighters. From time to time, when I do have a couple of days off, I'm going to be doing boxing instructional videos when it comes to the first steps of boxing. If you're just a person that's looking to get in shape, I'm going to be posting some boxing exercises that you can do at the comfort of your home. And I'm going to be expanding the things that I want to do, but it's only possible at Patreon because they are not going to flag my video as copyrighted. So just make sure that you look for me on Patreon, patreon.com/RawBoxingTV. I'll probably be dropping a link on the next live stream about it. But stay tuned because I got a lot of good things coming for Patreon. And I know for a fact you guys are going to enjoy it. Because YouTube's going to be telling you, going to have these channels talking about, like, oh, no, we saw this dude win. And then the other channels talking about Wonder Woman, no, we saw this dude win. But I'm going to be in Patreon showing you in slow motion who really won. Breaking down what really happened. Wouldn't you like to see that? I know you would. And let's be real with you guys. I know I don't want to tell nobody what to do with their money, but $1 a month ain't going to break the bank. And unfortunately, Patreon, that's the way it works. I think you guys will enjoy it, by the way. So that's it as of now, man. God bless everybody. Have a great night. Let's hope we have a very entertaining fight between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder 3. Let's hope Fury, it's going to sound wrong, but for the sake of boxing, let's hope that Fury wins and that AJ wins so that we may have the chance to see Undisputed. Raw Boxing TV. Till next time, ladies and gentlemen, we're out. God bless everybody.